because that mic used firewire anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we'll go ahead and get started here. A little bit of a light crew, but I'll do the introductions again. I get Barry, KY-QRP, Bob, KI-4JWK, Brad, WA4HBM, Bobby, KB4QNR. The first one without a name that begins with B is Roger, KJ4YSY, and over there in the corner is JB, WA4WWH. And I'm Chris, KU4A, which I never remember to say. And the first thing is Glenn sent me a text this afternoon saying that he's getting better. I asked him if he thought he might be able to come over, and he just says, well, he just figured he better not. What I would kind of like to do is schedule the October luncheon as late as we can in the month of October, so that maybe Glenn can make it. So for those of you that know, Roger and Bob and Bobby often make the luncheon. The last Thursday is the 30th. And then the Thursday, there's 5 Thursdays in October. We've already gone past one. Did you want to go, Brad, before you leave?
I'm leaving on the 24th.
Okay.
So I don't know how that's going to fit. I probably won't be able to make it
Okay.
because of that.
Well, we could make it on the 23rd if you wanted to try to come over.
That might not be good because I'll be packing and I'm trying
Okay.
to organize
Okay.
and all that.
Well, I'm leaning towards the 30th to try to get so that maybe Glenn can make it. So those of you that frequently go, is the 30th a problem?
Not for me until I find out if I got to babysit my grandson.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be. I mean, I should be able to work around it.
Okay. Well, let's pencil that in, and for even numbered months, we've been going to the Denny's, which is right up here.
Okay.
So let's do that, and if we need to move it around. Okay. So, alrighty. Well, do we have any upgrades or any license upgrades or anything like that? How about field work? Has anybody been doing anything?
Yeah, well, me and Glenn went to the horse park that one day. That's been since we met last.
Okay. after the bar's picnic and before his knee surgery.
Loretta fried us some chicken and made some coleslaw and baked beans. We really had a good picnic and played with our radio. And it was a beautiful day. Temperature was about 76 degrees with just a little tiny breeze a-blowing. And man, it was just a great day to be outside. And then Loretta and we went out. I'm still trying to I'm trying to make me an 80-meter antenna for my QRP radio. But it's hard for me to do at home because I don't have enough real estate. So we went to the park and I got it about 3/4 of the way done and my back gave out on me and I had to quit. And then it turned cold. So I haven't been back out to finish that.
Yeah, and
but
Glenn,
it won't take much work now.
Glenn had his knee surgery.
Frequency. And that's actually about all we've done. I'm hoping to have at least a few more warmer days.
Oh, it would be nice. There's not going to be a dry day to amount to anything for the next couple of weeks. So okay. Alrighty. How about kits? Any projects or anything?
I'm working on an antenna upgrade right now.
Okay.
I got it in. It's one of those Alpha Delta DX, I guess it's the EE. It's the one that covers 80 meters through 10. And yeah, and the total length of it is like 82 feet. So it does have a coil on each leg of the 40, 80 meter element, but the rest are all just resonant, cut the frequency, I guess, or cut to some frequency in that band. And we've got a tower going up over there. It's about 35 feet, and if everything goes okay, Barry has helped me. Him and Bob T, KK4QIY, they've been helping me. We got the bracket mounted to the side of the garage, and we got the tower all painted, all new stainless hardware to bolt it together. Every piece of it looks brand new now. And we just got to take the push-up pole that's got the dipoles on it down, and then
Put
take
the
a couple
dipoles on tower.
sections and go over there to the bracket and decide exactly what's level and straight, vertically and everything. And then my son, which is he'll be 27, so he's been elected to run the shovel as we all put our 2 cents worth. It's going to be a state job. You're going to see one guy working, about 3 guys standing around. So I'm hoping, if we get the next few days, I think we'll be setting it in concrete by the end of the week. So that Alpha Delta will be up there, and then right now I've got a rotor, and I've got a 7-element, and I've got, thanks to JB, and then I've also got a 13-element Cushcraft 2-meter sideband beam that I've been thinking about starting out with up there, just to play around with some 2-meter sideband, and then I'll have the Alpha Delta for my HF. So, got to start somewhere. So I'm just anxious about getting a tower up.
Okay.
So, maybe by the next time we meet, I'll have a little bit better signal.
The hole digger might be a whole lot better off with all this rain we're supposed to be getting.
True.
So
I think it's going to
usually this time of year the ground's so hard you can't hardly do anything.
Yeah, it's going to be a good week for him to dig, because he shouldn't get super hot. The temperatures and.
Yeah.
Well, we'll help him pull a little dirt out of there. We got the post hole diggers and shovel and iron, big iron. What I always called it, the iron digger. I don't know. Somebody told me it was a spud.
Spud bar.
Spud bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Officially, it's a spud bar, I guess. I guess we're gonna bust a few tables on it. Anyway,
Okay.
got that going for me.
Alrighty.
I got a report from L&R Engineering. They hope to be releasing their LD5, which is a 5-band CW single sideband, also in digital mode, PSK 31 type few things, QRP rig in the next week or two. He's very close to releasing that. They're the ones that release they do the L&R infeds. And this radio should sell right under $600, so I expect it to be right around $599 or something. It
Okay.
covers 40, 30, 20, and 17. Now there's a 5th band. There was 4. I know it's going to cover those. Maybe he's got 80 on there now. He's either got 80 or 15 or 10. But anyway, it covers 5 bands, and should be a nice little rig. So for those of us that can't really jump into a KX3, this might be something to look at. Anyway, watch for that to pop up pretty soon. So.
Now that isn't a kid, is it?
No.
Okay.
It is fully assembled and ready to hit the trail. It's trail friendly, ready to go out of the box.
Okay.
It and an infed, and they've got a new infed, a quad band infed that handles 4 bands now.
Wow. Okay.
They sure do. And his antennas have, everybody I know that's gotten them and everything is, they've been good performers, no doubt about that. So he makes pretty good stuff. And he's a real nice guy. So anyway, that's something to look forward to, is a new QRP rig on the market here real soon.
Okay. Okay, who else has projects, antennas, rigs, home brewing, anything like that?
I've been trying to make side tone for my QRPP radio, using 555 timer. I've just shorted down 2 555s. I get the tone, and I'm not too sure where I'm going wrong. I get the tone, and tone starts at about 9 volts, and it lasts about 3 or 4 seconds, and it burns up.
It's a 5.
So I got something not quite right in there, and I haven't quite figured it out. One of the capacitors or something isn't right. I'm letting too much in there. But I'm going by the schematic that I found online, but it's not working. And it's about time for me to start practicing on my CW again. So weather's getting chilly, so
Yeah.
I've got more time indoors. So it's gonna be back to the studying the CW until I can get it down. Doing pretty good. I've got about 4 letters that I'm having trouble with, and about 80% of my numbers. I've got a few of the numbers down and a couple of the special characters, but I've got a little ways to go. But hopefully I can get on the air by springtime. I'm just not learning it as fast as I had hoped I would, especially after knowing it. Of course, that was 50 years ago, but you would think that I'd pick it up faster
Yeah.
than I'm done.
Yeah, I have to admit that's true, but everybody's mind is a little different.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. I did go on, I had this machine that took code for me, and it's called an RD60, and I saw one online, and the guy's wanting parts for it. And it's really a nice machine. You got this paper tape, the paper tape comes in this big roll like this right here, probably 1/2 inch wide or so forth. And what it does is show you your bogs. For a dent, it'll make a pretty quick one. Or you stretch it out or make it as slim as what you want. And then a dash would be like 3 times longer than so you can just look at the paper tape and read the dot dash or whatever it is, you know. And boy, that would come in real handy, right?
Is that like that, would that be like that, what is that super slow Morse, like that Whisper or QRS or something?
Well,
like
QRSS.
Yeah. Where it actually, when you're looking on the graph, you see the dots, you see the short and the longs, and you visually interpret the CW.
Yeah, see this machine.
And that's how he learned to look at it on that printout.
See, that's where when I was even in the Army, I had trouble with 13 words a minute, and then I got up to 21 words a minute, and I hit another point there to where I was having a hard time, and so I went to the machine.
So are you using
And
software?
it'll take up to like 400 words a minute, this machine will.
Well, you realize there's all kinds of software out there that will do CW copying. Now, it may or may not be very good based upon, because of people's differences in the way they send and stuff like that.
I found that I've got some of the software and I've tried it, and as long as people keeps it at a certain speed, once it adjusts itself to that speed, it does really well. But then if somebody, you send for a minute and then you start slowing down, by then it messes the characters up until it can adjust itself again.
There's some good learning software for CW, where you can set your spacing and everything, so you can learn at whatever speed that you want to learn at.
Yeah, see, what I'm doing is setting my characters at 15 words a minute, with a 7 words a minute spacing, and that's what I'm trying to learn at, and then I'll tighten up the spacing once I get
Hey, Terry.
proficient at it. Yeah, I find 5 words a minute is actually just
Can I borrow a little
aggravating.
spot
Yeah,
right
You
here?
certainly can, yeah.
Okay.
Because started picking
I need
it
to
up
check.
at 15 words a
Need to
minute.
bring a big chassis
5
here.
words
Sounds
is-
completely wrong.
That'll be it.
But that's where I am.
Mhm,
See,
okay.
yeah, anyway.
Good deal. Anybody else with projects, antennas? Well, we might go back and say on fieldwork plans, does anybody have anything planned for field work? I know we a lot of times just go on it at the last minute when the weather's good, so that's okay too. Bobby, you want to talk about tube CW transmitters or anything?
Well,
What you're thinking about?
I didn't bring the schematic, I don't know if you happen to bring it or not.
Yeah,
but,
didn't think to.
I've got a couple friends that, what they do now is anyway, they taught radio theory and they were RF engineers all their lives, and they worked for, Northrop Grumman and different companies, and anyway, in the past. Long story short, one guy developed his own RF radio engineering course and for the military, and at the time, but he has put it, he was in the Marines, and he has put this thing online. There's a link from his QRZ page to this whole complete course in radio theory and RF engineering. And anyway, they have designed a two-tube, using the final tube as, what's the 6146 is the tube, the output tube. And then there's another tube they use for the oscillator.
6C4?
6C4, and of course you can either build the oscillator solid state or tube. What the purpose of this, it's called a test rig, it's a transmitter. And the purpose of it is for you to understand how much, it's to learn about the screen grid of the tube and how much current you can apply and how that affects the wattage and the RF that you're going to get out of that tube. And it's laid out, and they sent me pictures online today of where they'd already built one. They make it on a block of wood about 18 by 12 inches, and they mount the parts on the board. And you saw the schematics, not a whole lot to it. 2 tubes, a transformer, and everything else is pretty common. And you lay this thing out on the board, and I mean, if you really need to understand how tubes work and you go through these processes they've got, this thing is a trainer, and you'll build your own tube, two-tube transmitter for CW, or if you want, whatever you want to add to it, if you want to add modulation to it, or however you want to do it. But it was developed as a piece of training gear by these guys, and I'm really involved in wanting to actually build it so that I thoroughly understand the processes hands-on instead of just a theory in the book. I'd like to actually make my changes and look at the scope and look and see what happens as I do this along the way.
Okay, and you're also thinking about duplicating a Heathkit AT1, which
Yeah,
is
we're thinking
I've got a Heathkit
And you've
AT1
got the
that I bought at one of the MSARC auctions that I may be going to try to rebuild. It's pretty much a basket case, but that's a simple circuit as well. So you're looking at the possibility of building that.
Exactly.
It's a 6L6 final with a 6.
Yeah, I was talking about that to my guys on 7150 that I talked to in the morning, and they said, oh, he would probably like the test transmitter. So as I was telling them about the AT1, they said they recommended that maybe we give this a try to learn, and so they sent me the schematic, and I liked it, and today they sent me pictures of the actual build on the board, and I hadn't really had time to study them, but anyway,
Okay.
if
Did you
anybody's
get-
interested in taking that route with me, I'll kind of be able to.
Did you get those texts I sent you about the AT1s on eBay?
Yes, I did, thank you.
They go for more than what I thought.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, I did. And that one still may be there. I'll take another look tonight.
Okay.
I fell asleep.
Okay, well, it's about 7:21, so I'll make one last call for anything anybody's doing project-wise, antennas, field work, just anything anybody else has. So I appreciate everybody coming to the meeting tonight, and I hope maybe by next week we'll have Glenn back. So thank you all, and see some of you on the 30th at Denny's for lunch.